Awesome. Hey, what is going on, everybody? Just gonna give you guys an biggest pre-sale, biggest reward project. Pre-sale is happening on Solana right now. This is Soul Control. So this project has been in the works for a long time. It was actually designed before Control Token had released. And so, you know, if you're a Control Token holder, you're going to benefit from this project. So don't think that it's just launching a second project that has nothing to do with anything that we've done. Every utility, every token that we launch, a percentage of that volume and rewards will come back to Control Token holders. So basically, this is just Control on Solana. So it's our tokenomics. It's actually got some really amazing stuff, which I'll go ahead and go over today. So yeah, Soul Control. It's our idea of delayed liquidity, big rewards that make it worth staying in the project, and it's probably the biggest payout that we've come out with. So definitely, the biggest problem with projects is that there's so much value in selling down your bag, and so Soul Control is doing some huge things that you've probably never heard of before. So definitely make sure you understand them. Which is the first biggest thing that we're doing is the no buy fee. So let's talk about that first. This hasn't been done before, and honestly this would blow people's freaking minds. If you come from Evergrow, SafeMoon, I promise you you have never seen better reward project than this. Okay, what the... Hey, what's up, Mitch Bromo? How's everybody doing? Okay, this thing's bugging out on me for some reason. Good to see you, Mitch Bromwell. So yeah, guys, I'm going to be telling you about the pre-sale. I'm going to tell you why this project has never been done before. This isn't your typical crypto. You've never heard of this. No one's ever heard of this. It's just bugging out on me. Let me try to get this working again. There we go. Is that working? Okay, cool. So we cover 100% of your buy fee. Like, what does that mean? It means when you do a 10% reward project and you have to pay that fee, right? That's where the rewards are coming from. So with SafeMoon, you pay 10%. And that created reflections for everybody. With Evergrow, you paid 14%. That created 8% rewards for everybody. It's awesome to get those rewards, but it kind of sucks that you, the holder, have to take that hit when you buy into the project and then when you leave. So we are the first crypto project to do this. This is a huge narrative, and we're bringing it to Solana, where we set aside 70% of the supply, so like a crazy amount of the supply, and then we give it to you. We give you extra supply whenever you buy. So if you look, you'll see that you pay 0%. So you can basically get into the largest reward project on Solana, and you don't even have to pay a buy fee, because when you pay the fee, your bag goes down 10%, and then we cover that 10%, and we actually give you a little bit extra. So if you put in like $100 instead of your bag being worth 90, it will be worth 102. If you put in $1,000, it'll be worth 1,020. So, you have your traditional tokens that you buy and you don't get rewards. You buy and your bag's wherever you bought, and the price can go up and down. Then you have your tax tokens, your reward tokens. You buy, you immediately take the hit of that tax, but you get the benefit of getting rewards by holding. So we're the first project to ever do something like this. No one's ever done this. It's a completely new narrative, and it's very, very powerful, where you buy into a reward project and your bag is worth more than what you purchased. So by covering your entire buy fee and by covering a portion of your sell fee, your $1,000 turns into 1,020. Your 10K purchase turns into 10,200. If you drop 100,000, if you're a whale, your $100,000 purchase comes out to $102,000. You basically don't hit any fees unless you sell, but you get the benefit of buying into the project and getting amazing rewards. So that's something very powerful that we have. All right, let me go ahead and explain the rewards so you guys can have an understanding of what these rewards look like. So the rewards are You get sold just for holding. So as soon as you buy, you're getting Solana. So you get 4% every single hour. Just every hour it builds up all the volume and it pays out. 4% of all volume goes to everybody. 2% builds up for an entire week. So you'll have Solana build up for an entire week and then it pays out to all holders. So you get 4% every hour, 2% every week. Remember, you didn't have to pay the buy fee. You're just buying a project and you're getting extra tokens and now you're getting a percentage of volume. So this has not been done before. What we're bringing and what control tokenomics, control protocol, what we've made, I can tell you that we have the best reward projects you'll ever see. Sol Control is us bringing our tokenomics to Solana, but we can do things that you didn't even know was possible. I'm not just saying that to hype you up. It's just a reality. Nobody has launched a reward project where there's no buy fee, but you still get the benefit of being, getting rewards for holding, and you're being rewarded in Solana. So it's not like you're getting the token or something that can be like depreciated. So 4% every hour, 2% every week, 2% builds up for an entire month. So this part is very special. This is probably one of the, as awesome as the buy fee is, that we cover your buy fee, this is probably equally or maybe bigger than that. So 2% of all volume builds up for an entire month. But it only goes to 5 holders. So how that works is at the end of the month, we use this software. It picks 5 random tokens. You could be the smallest bag, you could be the biggest bag. If that token is in your wallet, you're one of the 5 people who gets this really big payout at the end of the month. So the smallest holder has a chance, but the more tokens you have, the more entries you have, the more likelihood you have of winning. So this part is really big, and the math on it is actually crazy. It's awesome to get that 4% SOL every hour. It's awesome you have no buy fee. It's awesome that you get that 2% that builds up every week and pays out. But the 2% that builds towards the monthly, this is a massive payout. Everybody has a chance. The more tokens you have, the greater likelihood you have of being one of those 5 winners. One wallet can only win once, so if there's a huge wallet, somebody becomes a whale and they win, it gives everybody else 4 more chances, right? And it draws. This happens every month. It's not just one time, it's every single month. 2% of all the volume gets shared amongst 5 holders, and everybody has a chance. But like I said, the more tokens you have, the greater likelihood you have of being one of those 5 winners. What does this do? It changes the relationship of a token where everybody's like chasing to sell it down to get a bunch of value to we're storing up a really big payout and you get rewards on the way and you don't have to pay the buy fee. So we're bringing a very special project to Solana, and it's in its pre-sale right now. So for anybody who watches this, if you all you have to do is send Solana to the pre-sale address. It's in the description. So it's you can use Trust Wallet, you can use any wallet, but once you have Solana, make sure you're on Solana. You just send it to that address. Now you're in the pre-sale. It's that easy. It works just like Trust Wallet, and you're on Solana. So it's a pretty sweet deal. You can convert BNB or anything else once you have it in the native coin, Ethereum, BNB, Bitcoin, whatever. If you want to convert that, you do a cross-chain transfer to Solana, and then you just hit send on your Solana, send it to the pre-sale address, and you'll be in the pre-sale for this project. If you guys saw, I did a project on BNB control token. We did a pre-sale. We went up from our pre-sale into a 10x over the course of 4 months, paying out a total of, so far, of $400,000 worth of stablecoins. So we have done very well, and we've proven that our first pre-sale we actually did really well. So the pre-sale tokenomics are set up to be really good, to have like a bunch of momentum to get us in the direction we want to go at launch. So here's where the math can get very exciting for this huge payout. So with 10 million in volume, so 2% of all volume, right? With only 10 million on Solana, it's easier to get projects to get volume because that's where the action's at. So with 10 million in volume, that would be 2% of that would be $200,000. And $200,000 divided by 5 would be 5 people getting $40,000, right? So this is, you get your rewards for the entire month, and then if you win, you get this huge payout, and you still have your bag. Like, you don't have to leave the project to get this huge payout. So this creates huge incentive for everybody to stay in the project, to buy the dip, to get your rewards, and to grow the project. We have a system that like builds up this really big payout in the future, and so it allows for the community to chase growth and success rather than to chase dumping the charts. If people try to sell down, then it provides the ability. So every token that you buy is an entry, right? That could be the token that gets selected at the end of the month. So if there's a huge dip in the price, that creates an opportunity for someone to come in and buy a ton of tokens, get more rewards, have a bigger bag, and greatly increase their likelihood of being one of the winners at the end of the month. If we get 100 million in volume throughout the month, that'll be 2 million in rewards in Solana. 5 people splitting 2 million is $400,000 worth of Solana each at the end of the month. That's crazy, right? To be a top wallet and to have 400,000. If we hit 1 billion in volume, then 5 people would get 4 million in Solana. So 1 billion in volume is obviously an extremely high number, but it's possible, right? It's whatever the community really wants to. As high as the community wants to take this project, I've designed it for them. There's no team tokens. I don't get any team tokens, right? Because I can be paid out of the treasury through volume. So I want as much volume as possible, right? And now I've aligned my incentives with yours, which is we want the project to grow and do well and have volume. Hey, what's up, Truth Hurts? Great to see you, man. Thanks for being a subscriber to, not just a subscriber, but you are a... I forget what it's called actually, but you have the little symbol next to your name, which means you support Control. So this is not just launching a token for the sake of launching it. It's not launching it for the sake of rugging it, pumping and dumping it. You've got me, I'm doxxed. I show my face for a reason. I live in Oklahoma. It's because I have nothing to hide. I have your best interest at heart, and I believe that we can create the best cryptos DeFi has ever seen. And this is us bringing the Control tokenomics that we've really discovered through the creation of Control token and the Control protocol to Solana. So this is what I believe is one of the best reward projects ever made on Solana. You don't have a buy fee. You get 4% SOL every hour. Most Solana projects, you have 5% SOL. We've got 4% every hour and 2% every week and 2% at the end of the month. So it's super important to understand this 2% at the end of the month, that even if you don't win, you have to understand that you need your whales to have significant incentive to stay in the project, whether you're a whale or whether you're getting in later, right? If the whales sell down the project, it really kills momentum, it kills the price, they eat up the rewards. So by having 2% of all volume build up for an entire month and then pay out by picking 5 random winners, and anybody can win, but the whales have the greatest likelihood of winning because they have the most amount of tokens. And they should be rewarded for sticking around in the project. Crypto should reward you for having a large amount of the supply and staying around the longest. If you're helping the project that much by holding the supply, you should be significantly rewarded for it. And crypto just doesn't have the capacity to do that right now, outside of what we've made with Control tokenomics. So as a whale in this project, because we're in our pre-sale right now, so anybody does the pre-sale, all you have to do is send Solana to the contract address. It's the one that ends in pi. It's down in the description. You send Solana to that, you're in the pre-sale, probably going to be launching within the next week or two. Like I said, we have narratives that have not been done before. You have no buy fee. It's the first reward project where you don't have a buy fee. So if you think about reward projects, if you're only doing a 1% tax, the rewards are going to suck, right? 1% of all volume, that's like nothing. That's 100. You have 100,000 in volume with only 1%. That's $1,000 getting shared amongst all those people who brought in. So the higher the tax, the bigger the rewards. But the higher the tax, the more that you have to pay that tax. So by us doing a 10% in, 10% out, but then we cover it, we give you extra tokens. You have no buy fee, and when you buy, your bag is bigger than what you put in. You put in 1,000, it turns into 1,020. You put in 10K, it turns into 10,200. You drop 100K, it turns into 102,000. We're not only the first project where you buy and your bag doesn't go down from hitting the tax, but it goes up because we give you extra tokens. How do we do that? Is that sustainable? Yes, because we put aside 70% of the supply and it's locked, and the only way to get that supply is when you buy through the website, you get those extra tokens. We have the ability to increase this percentage to make it so you don't have any fee, or right now you only have a fee if you sell, and it's 8%, but you're getting the benefit of being in a 10% in, 10% out reward project. That's why nobody's ever done this. Typically you put in 1,000 with a 10% in, 10% reward project. Now you're at 900. If you go to sell, you pay another 10%, you're going to be at around 81. It's about a 20% tax. But you get the benefit of those rewards, which is nice. It kind of offsets it. Well, we're the first one to say you don't pay any tax when you buy, right? You do pay the tax, but we give you extra tokens to cover your tax and a portion of your sell fee. And we have the ability to increase this. Right now, when the project starts, people who are buying will only be paying an 8% sell fee if they sell. Otherwise, they're buying and they're getting a bigger bag than what they purchased. And we have the ability to give you even more tokens, all the way up until your sell fee is only 1 or 2%. So keep an eye out for that, because I'm going to do that. I'm going to increase the amount of tokens that we give to keep that growth, momentum, excitement going, so that you're getting into a reward project and we've completely eliminated the buy fee. Never been done in the history of crypto. No project has ever done what we're doing. This is a completely new narrative that provides the opportunity to get into reward projects without having to pay a fee. And so we completely eliminate the buy fee, and we start to eliminate the sell fee. And as we grow as a project, we can continue to make that sell fee less and less and less, so that people are able to buy into a project and have a 2% sell fee, 4%, but you're getting the benefit of a 10% in, 10% out, 20% reward project, and you're barely even paying a fee. So we came up with that solution, and we're bringing that to Solana, which is really awesome. Slick Rick, good to see you. I appreciate you guys hitting like on the stream. I appreciate you guys showing up. This is, like I said, this narrative hasn't been done before, and we're already doing this. So if you think, oh, is this real? Does this work? We're already doing it with Control Token. If you go to controltoken.net right now and you buy through our swap, we have a 15% buy fee and a 20% sell. When you buy through the swap, you get like 20% extra tokens. So your entire buy fee is covered, and you have a large portion of tokens that can go towards your sell fee if you sell. If you don't, you're just getting a big bag and you're getting more rewards. So this is an awesome new narrative that we're bringing. No buy fee for entering into the largest reward project on Solana. Usually you got to hit that fee. And you think about your whales hitting that fee. You drop 50K, now you're down to 45K. Like, that's a huge risk for large money to enter into reward projects and take that kind of hit. And we, through this mechanism, have greatly alleviated that problem. You get the benefit of all the rewards, the huge payout, the hourly SOL, the weekly SOL, the monthly SOL, but you don't have a buy fee, and you actually just get extra tokens when you purchase. So I really can't harp on how amazing this is. Most projects, reward projects that have blown up, they didn't have anything like this. This is an amazing new narrative that we've created that we're bringing to the space. So you want to do the pre-sale, you're basically getting in and you're getting the start of all the volume that we have. We have basically one giant month of excitement built up. So we have 4 weekly events. When you get paid that 2% every week, I'm going to announce something, and because you guys are here, I'll give you a heads up on what it's going to be. I'm going to increase the amount of tokens that we give every week, which is going to cause the sell fee to go down even lower and lower. What does that do? It makes it more fair for the people that are buying in later, who usually just get a worse and worse price with less and less rewards, with a smaller and smaller bag. Well, we can give you more and more tokens as the project grows, all the way up until this goes down to 1 to 2%. This buy and sell fee. You can't. If you completely eliminate it, you could, but it would create a problem eventually. But as long as there's like a 1 to 2% sell fee, then you can completely eliminate the buy and sell fee with this idea. It's an amazing idea, and this is the first project in the history of all of crypto to start with tokenomics where you don't have a buy fee and we're actually eliminating the sell fee. So that's freaking amazing, right? I'm doxed, no team tokens. It's super important. We'll go through the white paper in a minute. I'll show you guys the white paper. I do appreciate you guys hitting like on the stream. Free Gender, what's up, man? I'm so happy about this project. It's on Solana and not Ethereum. 100%, man. Yeah, totally. Ethereum sucks. The gas fees suck. And Solana is where a lot of people are at. So we're really bringing what I believe is one of the best reward projects ever to exist in the history of crypto to Solana. And then if we do well, we're going to launch a launch pad so that other people can make these same types of tokens. If you guys don't know, launch pads can generate significant revenue. It's very easy for a launchpad to make a ton of money. So this project isn't just a reward project, but it's kind of the more that we come together and the better we do, the more that the likelihood of a launchpad utility is going to be used, and that revenue is going to come back into rewards on Soul Control and Control tokens. So we have a masterful plan laid out of launching this amazing project. No team tokens. I'm doxed. No buy fee. Huge payout at the end of the month. It really incentivizes your whales to hold. It's so important to incentivize your whales to hold and to reward them for holding. So this 2% that goes to this monthly payout, it's a huge payout. Only 10 million in volume. 5 people are going to get $40,000. Everybody has a chance, but the more tokens you have, the greater likelihood you have of getting it. That's not unfair because we want these people to hold. The more the whales hold, the more the project grows, the more rewards you see, and the more that we're able to try to be a top crypto, which is really what we're aiming. We're trying to be a top crypto so that our utility, our launchpad can do well. If we blow up, then our launchpad's going to blow up, and that's going to be crazy revenue coming back towards Soul Control and Control token. So I'm uniting everybody who joins me in Soul Control, saying, hey guys, 1 month, let's give it our all. Let's grow the project as much volume as we can. We have exciting weekly events, and if we do well, we'll be able to launch this launchpad where other people are going to be able to launch similar tokens. Maybe it might even be one of you guys. It could be that your Control token is completely, this is a separate token from Control token. The volume from this will create rewards back to Control token, but if you want to participate in this project, then let's see, there, okay, let's put my little name up there. Okay, I'm Crypto Control. There we go. My name's Thomas. I live in Oklahoma, guys. 350 Soul in the pre-sale already. Gonna be fun. What's up, Primo? Great to see you, man. Is there a website? The website, I'm trying to get it published today, but I'm showing you the website right now. If we get this published today, we're gonna have the white paper, the website, and a video that I put together published. And obviously we're promoting everything. We're doing marketing. We've already have some big marketing planned for after launch, and we've got marketing that we're looking at before launch. So we're going very hard, and it's really just me coming together with the community and saying, if I gave you the setup to grow a project as much as you can for 1 month, and you knew that if you accomplished it, a successful utility would be at the end of it, that you'd have the biggest rewards, a huge payout, and there's no team tokens, I'm doxed, I don't rug. My first project, Control token, I haven't put a single sell on that token. Not one token have I sold. I've only been paid out of the treasury, and our treasury still is about what it started at. It's about at 100K. So we have a very good treasury, and I've proven myself. Yeah, so it's super easy. Go to your wallet and go find Solana, and you can just buy it, or you can just buy BNB, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then obviously rather do BNB or something. Do a cross-chain transfer of your BNB, Bitcoin, whatever you buy, to Solana. If you don't want to buy it, you can just buy Solana directly if you go to your wallet, or if you already have BNB or whatever, just cross-chain transfer to Solana, take your Solana, hit send, and send it to the contract address of the pre-sale. It's the one in the description. All right, guys, let's go ahead and I'll show you the rest of the website. There's some final tweaks that need to be made to the website, but we might have this published today. If we do, we'll have the white paper, the website, and a video published today. And you're gonna see a lot of me. You're gonna be seeing a lot of spaces, posts, articles, videos, live streams. You might get sick of me, but honestly, this could be a very, very exciting time if this project does well, and it's everything's designed. Like, the reason I don't give myself any tokens is because I don't want any sell pressure on the charts. The reason we have these huge payouts at the end of the month is because I want our whales to chase growth and success. I don't want them chasing dumping the project. I want them to chase value that's attached to our success. So if we blow up in 1 month, our utility launchpad will blow up with it. People will want to chase this narrative, and they won't be able to chase it. No one's done this. No one has covered your buy fee. Not one project has done that. We are the first one because we came up with these solutions. We came up with that narrative. So let's go ahead and, like I said, guys, we're the first reward project in the history of crypto to cover your buy fee. So when people pay, say $100,000 worth of buys comes in, that creates 10K that goes towards the tax. 8K to rewards, 2K to the treasury. 2K to the treasury can go towards marketing, paying the team, and other stuff. but 8K in rewards. Instead of those 100K people, instead of the people that paid that 100K losing 10K, we come in with 70% of the supply that we lock, and we provide them extra tokens, which covers that percent that they paid, which is basically when you buy, you're putting liquidity into liquidity and you're paying into rewards. Well, with reward projects, every time you paid into rewards, you literally took that hit as the holder and you got less tokens. We're the first project. We came up with this idea, the first crypto in the history of DeFi with a narrative that has not been done. This is new. You've never had a reward project where you buy and you don't have to take the hit to your bag of the fee. Not only do you not take the hit, but we give you extra tokens so that your bag is worth more than what you purchased. You throw in 1,000. As long as you're buying through the website, your bag will come out to 1,020. What? 10% tax, but my bag goes to 1,020. That means a regular token, when you buy, your bag would come out to 1,000, right? But you're getting into a reward project and your bag comes out to 1,020. You're starting not just even, but up. That's the narrative we have. It's freaking crazy. And like I said, I have the ability to increase the amount of tokens we give you when you buy through the website. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that every week. And at some point, I'm going to stop telling people that. But I'm letting you guys know early in the pre-sale that the exciting things we have every week is when we do this big payout on the weekly payout, I will also be increasing, saying we're going to give, maybe 2% more tokens to people that are buying. Greatly exciting. If there's a dip and I increase the amount of tokens you get, it's crazy incentive to buy that dip. And we're really just trying to blow up as much as we can so that our utility launchpad can, fuel this token for a long time. So, launchpads generate crazy revenue. If you've got tens to hundreds of projects launching on your launchpad, then you're going to get, insane. You take a percentage of all that and it comes back to the token. Launchpads are, the people will always make tokens and people are chasing narratives. So we're not making something where there's a ton of competition and very unlikely that our utility is going to succeed. We have a token that with a narrative that hasn't been done before, that if it does well, people will want to copy. They won't be able to, and we'll have the launchpad where they can immediately go to and start launching. And it could be you guys. You might say, I want to launch a token like this, and you'll be able to, right? So, get behind a project that's going to benefit you in the community. And this one by design, because I'm doxed, because there's no team tokens, because we cover your buy fee, because we have weekly events, because we have this huge payout at the end of the month, and we have a utility set up that will be used. If the project does well, people will want to copy this. They will launch tokens on this utility. You cannot launch this anywhere else. No one's ever done this. So it's a masterful plan in a short time frame with very exciting things happening. And those of you guys that know me, I haven't sold a single token of any project that I've launched. I've only launched one. And you know that from our pre-sale with Control Token, we did a 10x over the course of 4 months. So we didn't do 100x or 1,000x, but we did a 10x over 4 months. That's not easy to do. And so you can see this kind of trust that you want in a project. These numbers are crazy. 10 million in volume on Solana. 5 people will be getting $40,000. Now, I want you guys to think about not just, 5 people get $40,000. I want you to think about the floor that puts. This means that if the price, say, went all the way to zero, right? Hypothetically, that wouldn't happen. But if it went to zero, anybody could come in and become the top wallet and basically increase their likelihood of getting that 40K. So this puts a floor, probably the highest floor on the project that I think I've ever seen in the history of crypto. And it allows for your whales to be confident in the future of the project. Why? Well, they're getting the best rewards out of anybody. And they have the most likelihood to be one of the 5 winners at the end of every month that'll get this. So with only 10 million in volume, which is not much, let me see. I think was that come out to, is that 30? Is that only 30,000 in volume a day? Okay, it's 300,000. 300,000 in volume a day would, at the end of the month, put you at 10 million in volume. Now, that's not crazy for Solana. That's 5 people getting 40,000. Now, you get your rewards for the entire month. If you win, actually, let me state this all over. You buy, you pay no fee. Your bag is worth more than what you purchased. You get SOL every hour, 4% SOL every hour. You get 2% every week. If you win, you get the big payout. If we only have 10 million in volume and you're one of the winners, which we're in the pre-sale right now, so it could be the easiest time to get a large amount of the supply to increase your likelihood of being one of those winners. With only 10 million in volume, 40K SOL, 5 winners, not just one, 5 winners. So you buy, you don't pay the buy fee, and you're getting rewards. You actually, bag is worth more because we give you extra tokens. You get your hourly SOL, you get your weekly SOL. If you win the monthly, you also get your monthly. So it's not just 40,000 SOL, but it's also all the rewards that you got for only 10 million in volume for an entire month on Solana. And you still have your entire bag at the end. After you get paid, you could sell your bag. You can hold for the next month and get rewards. But like I said, we have a strategy set up to where if we succeed, the utility will people will definitely want to launch tokens like this. People will say, I want to launch a token with no buy fee. I want to launch a token with a huge payout at the end of a time frame. And I'll say, that's great. You can't do that anywhere else. But because we've created it and built it and we paid to build this, you can do it with us. And that can, if you have multiple projects launching and people are chasing those and it's all coming back to SOL control and control token, then this is a perfect project. It's got everything you want. A docs founder, no team tokens, something new and unique that actually solves a problem that causes people to stop chasing value and dumping a project and causes them to chase value and holding. That's super important. How much to be a whale? It really just depends. It's your buys versus everyone else's buys in the pre-sale and at launch. Getting a large amount of the supply. Obviously, the more you spend, the greater likelihood you have of being a whale. But you gotta, everything's a risk, and you have to make those decisions for yourself. Never spend more than you're willing to lose. All that jazz. We're very early, guys. Yeah, I'll be putting out a video on how to buy to make this easier for everybody once the website's live. So hopefully we get that live tonight, and then I can put out that video tomorrow. So with 100 million in volume, 5 people would get $400,000. So how this works is you pick one token, right? That only the holders count, right? The treasury, the liquidity pool, those tokens do not count as winners. It's only holders. So basically, it's your tokens versus the rest of the tokens that are held. That's your chances of your token being picked. The top wallets have the greatest likelihood of being picked. If there's a huge dip, it changes your mind on how do you approach the token to, well, I'll get a bigger bag so that I can sell it later. I'll get a big bag to get rewards to. Every single token that I'm buying counts as an entry. And if there's a massive dip or even a decent dip, it's a huge buying opportunity for everybody to greatly increase their odds of being one of those winners. If you don't win, you still got your rewards, you still have your bag, and you have the next month to go. And like I said, if we launch this Launchpad utility, the revenue probably will only go towards this big monthly payout. The rewards will come from the volume of people buying and selling, but the big monthly payout, if we generate 10K, 20K, 40K, 50K, whatever from that revenue, it could be hundreds, it could be millions, right? Depending on how successful it is. It'll go towards the big monthly payout, and then people will naturally be like, well, I want a huge bag to go after that payout, and then that'll create the rewards for everybody. So it's actually a very sustainable, very realistic project. As long as the rewards pay out, you get that extra percentage when you buy, and we get a community to come through and say, how many times do you get a project that the team rugs, the project dumps, there's no value in holding, there's no real utility, the utility roadmap sucks, it's very unlikely to be used. This one has everything you'd want. A new narrative that's never been done before that's amazing. We cover your buy fee, we cover a part of your sell fee, and we have a huge payout at the end of the month, which allows for your whales to chase value without leaving the project. They don't have to sell, and they can get $40,000 worth of SOL, and you still have your bag, and you got rewards for the entire month. 100 million in volume. That's what I really want to hit is 100 million in volume. 5 people would be getting $400,000 worth of Solana, that's nuts, right? That's crazy. That kind of payout is absolutely nuts. So you add utility to this type of project, and I think you have one of the best cryptos to ever exist. And we're just kind of showing you how it's done. I'm doxed, no team tokens. That's how it's done. The more volume we have, the better our treasury does. The more I can pay myself out of the treasury. My incentives are aligned with yours, and those incentives should not be dumping the project. They should be growth and success. That's what I need to align my incentives with the whales and with everybody who comes into the project to chase growth and success. And by chasing growth, like I said, you're not just having a project go up so that it can come back down and a few people are happy and everybody else is upset. The more that we grow, the more that we send a message that this project is different, the more people are going to use our utility. And we're providing cryptos that pay. If you think about this, this is super important. Cryptos typically only reward you for leaving the project, selling the project, hurting the project, and hurting the community. If you only reward selling, then you're only rewarding the destruction of your very own project. So by changing that narrative to rewarding holding by significantly, like that you can see with these numbers, then we can start to change it and say, we can reward you for staying. And that's what we need. If you only reward me for selling your project, I'm going to sell your project, right? Why wouldn't we? That's why we're here. We buy because we want to sell. But if you're telling me I can buy, hold, get rewards, get a huge payout at the end of the month, support a utility that could generate significant revenue going towards me every single month. So that's another crazy thing to think about is if the utility alone, without even the volume from the token, generated 200,000 for a launchpad, that's not much. To be honest, launchpads can generate like millions. But if it generated 200,000 a month, every month, without any volume on Sol Control, 5 people would be getting $40,000 worth of Sol. You can win one month, win the next month, win the next month. If you're the biggest bag, you can just continually win. So this is, this is a very powerful crypto, a very powerful narrative, very transparent. It's what you'd want out of a project. A new idea, good rewards, no buy fee. I'm just stacking these amazing ideas to the table. Let's see what you guys got. T-Bone Beats, when we buy in pre-sales, our buy-in fee covered. Pre-sales work a little bit differently because pre-sales are allowing you for basically to get in at the floor price. So how the distribution works for the pre-sale is 20% to treasury, 20% to marketing, 20% to liquidity, 20% to buyback liquidity, 20% to rewards. So you're really starting with about 60% towards liquidity, 20% goes towards liquidity, 20% goes towards buyback, and that's all going to get added at launch. So it's going to protect the launch, and then 20% is going to go to rewards. So we're going to start with really good rewards, a protected launch, and the marketing is going to get dumped into marketing. So the pre-sale is about funding the project, and what that's doing is that's going back towards control token holders. This project was funded out of our treasury, so the pre-sale is going to help pay the treasury back for paying about $30,000 to do all this. Actually it's been more, but about 30K is going to go back from the treasury and from what we earned. The main goal is to pay our treasury back because we funded all this, right? I've been putting a lot of time and effort into this. You can tell by the website, you can tell by the videos, by the logo, by the white paper. Let's go ahead and look at the white paper, you guys, or finish the website, and then we'll look at the white paper. So yeah, we're gonna have weekly announcements. We're gonna have a calculator, which is gonna be pretty sweet. We've got a quick explanation. The intro video is gonna be right here. We have this really cool animation that I paid to have created. We came up with this idea of this keyboard where all the pieces fly away, and then the control keyboard comes out, and it's got Sol written on it, and then the Sol piece goes back into the keyboard, and it's a really cool animation. You'll see that in the videos and stuff too. So let's go ahead and look at the white paper. No one's seen this white paper, by the way. Introduction. Sol Control represents a fundamental shift in how cryptocurrency tokens operate on the Solana blockchain. Rather than functioning as a simple reward or speculative asset, Sol Control has been engineered to align the interest of all holders, from small holders to whales, towards the common goal of project growth and long-term success. That is such an important thing. That's just not just like saying something for the sake of saying it and trying to sound nice. You need the community to have value that rewards them for chasing the success of the project. And cryptos don't have that right now. The core innovation lies in a multifaceted incentive structure that rewards holding, provides consistent returns, and offers a significant payout at the end of the month. This structure transforms the typical relationship users have with tokens, creating a community that chases project growth rather than short-term price movements. It protects from people that are just trying to dump your project. The problem with traditional tokenomics, cryptocurrency space has traditionally operated with two common tokenomic approaches, each with their own set of challenges for sustainable growth. This is actually important. Taxless tokens, your regular token that has no taxes on it. Dogecoin, any token that just doesn't have taxes. These incentivize early entry and quick selling, rewarding those who dump first and leaving later investors holding devalued assets. That's the main problem of crypto. And it's built within the incentive of how the supply and value distribution works. This isn't a small problem that we're solving. This is the biggest problem in crypto. Sorry, my nose itches from talking. It's vibrating my nose. While these reward both, so tax tokens, this is, we all know tax tokens, reward tokens. While these reward both selling and holding through redistribution, the incentive to sell often outweighs holding benefits. Selling is almost always more valuable than holding for rewards, even in high reward projects, leading to eventual price decline. In both models, token holders are primarily incentivized to extract value from the project rather than contribute to its growth and success. When everyone's strategy is to sell at the optimal moment, sustainable growth becomes nearly impossible. Everyone's chasing to exit the project. That is not good because that's where the value's at. You need value that rewards them for staying so that they can chase not exiting the project, but staying in the project and helping it succeed. Our solution at Soul Control. Go ahead and move this over a little bit. Oh no, that's good. But yeah, you technically, when we launch T-Bone, your bag should, just like any pre-sale, be worth, it'll be worth like more than what you put in at launch. So technically, yeah, technically I don't know, pre-sales just work differently, but technically we're providing liquidity, we're providing the treasury, we're providing marketing, we're providing rewards, we're providing a buyback wallet. That's all that's being provided in the pre-sale, but your bag isn't going to take a hit when we launch. You're not going to be down 1%. You're going to be up at launch, and we have a lot of things in place. We have big rewards built up from the launch. We have a buyback wallet to protect the launch, and we have liquidity for the launch. This all protects against snipers, and we also have, as soon as people start buying, we have a lot of marketing plans. So a lot of things planned. Sorry, I should have got to that, T-Bone. I got you now, bro. I got you. Okay, let's go ahead and finish the white paper. By giving rewards for holding tokens and a big prize at the end of the month, we're making it exciting to collect as many tokens as possible. The more you have, the better your shot at being one of the 5 winners every single month. Plus, you'll earn rewards along the way. This adds value that encourages both the community and big investors to support the project's growth and success instead of just trying to tank it by selling off their tokens. This is probably the key solution to what crypto is experiencing right now, where people are just chasing to sell your project, every single token. There's no value in the future that's worth chasing compared to selling down the project. But if you can create value in the future that's significant and worth chasing, then you can get your whales in your community to chase growth and to chase success. That's the solution we're bringing to DeFi. Right now we're bringing it to Solana in the form of Soul Control, but we're bringing that to everybody with the Control protocol. And everything that we do, every token we launch, every utility we create is going to go back towards Control Token. That's why Control Token's been a little bit quiet lately, because we've been working on a lot of things behind the scenes. Soul Control's new model shakes things up with awesome perks. Sell and cash out. You can sell and get your bag. You don't want to take that away from people. Hold and earn. By holding, you're getting hourly SOL, weekly SOL, the big monthly payouts of the SOL, the utility revenue, and SOL as well. Large monthly payouts. Stick around for a chance to score huge SOL prizes randomly awarded to holders at the end of every month. This really allows for us to say, hey, it's random, which makes it fair for everybody. But the more tokens you hold, the less random it is, the more likelihood you have of winning. That puts demand on the token. Buying a dip is not just buying tokens, it's buying entries to increase your odds of winning. So dips are going to be looked at completely different with Soul Control, because a big dip is an opportunity for anybody to come in and greatly increase their chances of getting that big payout at the end of the month. Soul Control builds a fair and exciting system where community grabs more. Holders scoop up tokens to grow their stash for a bigger profit later. Holders keep earning, sticking with your tokens, boost your share of the ongoing rewards. People love projects where you can just buy and hold. You buy, you hold, you get your rewards, you get the chance of that big payout, you get the utility revenue from the launchpad. More tokens, more chances. Holding or adding tokens gives you better odds to win the monthly prize drawing. If we do like a 10x or a 100x, then you're paying 10 to 100 times more for those tokens. If the price goes down 10x, now you can buy 10 times as many entries, tokens, and greatly increase your odds of winning. And if you don't win, you got your rewards and you still have your bag, and you have the next month, and you have the utility, which is it's not just a utility that, for the sake of a utility. Like, I'm not trying to crap on anybody, but most projects do NFT marketplace, They build a wallet, they build a swap, they build a DEX, they build a set, like all of those things. And there's a ton of that. What we have is a launch pad to make this type of token that hasn't been made before. So we set the example with the project to say, here's a new narrative, taxless tokenomics. You buy, you don't have to pay a fee. That hasn't been done before. You want to do that? Now we have something that there is no competition for, which is projects like this on Solana. This significantly means that our utility is something that actually has a very high likelihood of success of generating revenue. If the token does well and people try to copy our narrative, they won't be able to do it. They'll have to build it. And it's not easy on Solana to build this type of stuff. And it's costly as well, where we will already have part of the tech built through making this token. Then we just have to build the launchpad part. And now we integrate that tech together and we're ahead of the curve. We have So the success of this project is it gives us a vision of work together to grow this project to be a top coin, and then benefit not just from it being a top coin, but benefit from the launch pad that will allow for other people to make these similar styles of tokens. It's a really smart strategy that we have. Very realistic compared to 90-something% of tokens. Utilities are very unlikely to generate any revenue, and they don't have any new narratives that are that powerful. Our new narrative is extremely powerful because it's dealing with the number one problem of cryptocurrency, which is everyone is chasing exit liquidity to sell down a project, and we're changing that mindset to chase success and growth and be rewarded for it. That's exactly what we need in the space. Sol Control's smart setup keeps the token's value steady while rewarding people for sticking around. You reward current holders. The buy and sell tax rewards you for holding. It funds the monthly prize pool. It supports the project's future with the treasury. The treasury will be used to pay the team, to pay for marketing, and to put buybacks back on the chart. So if we need to, if we are doing so successful that we're eating through that 70% of the supply that goes towards new buyers, which we'd have to be a top crypto. We'd have to be so freaking successful to eat through that supply. That's how sustainable it is. But if for some reason we were that successful, the treasury would be doing really well. And if there was ever a huge dip, we would come in with the treasury, buy up, put green on the chart, get more tokens, and keep supplying people who are making new buys. So we have a very sustainable, it'll be almost near impossible to eat through this 70% of the supply that goes towards new buyers, unless we absolutely explode, which is really awesome to know that, right? No team tokens. I don't know. That might be one of the biggest things in crypto to do is be like, we just don't get any tokens. I'm not like, I don't have this big bag that I'm waiting to sell. I get paid from volume, and we have to do really well for me to make really anything, because a percentage is going back towards control token. A large percent goes back towards control token of the treasury, because they funded this, and you have to reward the control token holders for funding this, right, out of the treasury. A small chunk of every buy. Okay, cool. Buy fee coverage. Normally buyers lose a bit to fees. Not a bit, you lose a lot. 10%, that's a lot. But not here. Sol Control covers the buy fee by tossing in extra tokens from a reserve supply. That's one of the main secrets of Sol Control. Delayed Sol rewards. You guys know delayed liquidity is the solution to DeFi. If the problem is everybody's chasing immediate liquidity to dump it, then the solution is to get people to chase delayed liquidity to hold for it. And it's not just getting people to chase holding a project, it's to align their interest with the vision of what that project is, which is usually growth and successful utilities. We need people to chase the growth of the project and the success of its utilities. But right now we're not rewarding that. So Sol Control is going to reward you for chasing the future of the project significantly with rewards, the payout, and with a utility that can, the bigger we do, the more likely people are to use our utility. It's just a masterful setup where if we get a good community behind us, then you'll see what you want to see in crypto. You'll see a good project that pays the community for helping the project rather than selling it, that has a very solid plan, that has a utility revenue that could probably actually really outshine most utilities and generate significant revenue back to its holders. Selling helps the holders. Yeah, that's another thing about this. Sorry, this is the delayed Sol rewards. Let me start from the top. A key piece of Sol Control's design is how it hands out Sol rewards over time. Steady payouts. Sol earned from project activity piles up and gets paid out on a set schedule. So it builds up and then it pays out. That's super important because everybody who leaves during the build-up time, they forfeit their rewards and they pay into them. Then it pays out to everybody who's a holder. So it rewards staying by delaying. I did not mean to make that a saying. Gosh dang it, I keep rhyming. Gosh damn it. Okay, don't clip that. Protected value. Selling your SOL rewards does not harm the SOL control token at all. I'll turn into Dr. Seuss for a second. Selling your SOL rewards does not harm the SOL control token at all. So it doesn't harm the rewards. So because you're being rewarded in Solana, you can do whatever you want with it. It doesn't affect the project at all. That's super important. Selling helps holders. When someone sells, it actually boosts the reward pool. So you have liquidity. It's super important to understand this, for people to understand this. Rewards cannot go down. If buys happen, the rewards go up. If sells happen, the rewards go up. The only way rewards go down is when they get distributed. So every hour they get distributed, every week they get distributed. At the month, whether we're going up or down, these rewards are moving up. And at the end, they can only go down when they go to you guys. So that's super important because you have value that cannot be devalued through selling. People can leave the project as much as they want. They cannot hurt this value that the community is collectively chasing, which is the success of the project. That's so important to understand those ideas. Like, it's so important to understand that that is the solution to crypto's problem right now, is people do not have value that's worth chasing in the future. They only have value in exiting a project. They have potential value in the future, but it almost most of the time just ends in a lot of upset holders. If holders sell, they forfeit their share. Yeah, you sell your tokens, you miss out on piled up rewards and monthly prize entries. Everyone who leaves the project forfeits their ability to win the project, the big payout, and to hold that large of a position for however long this project goes along. And they forfeit their rewards as well, and they pay into them. So people that leave the project forfeit the value in the future, and they pay into it. It's masterfully designed. Monthly prize distribution to the degree to the tax. Every month, Sol Control wraps up with a clear and fair prize giveaway. Big wins for 5 holders. 5 random token holders split a hefty Sol prize pool. 1 token, 1 shot. Each token you hold equals 1 entry in the drawing. So if you think about that, you buy 1,000 tokens, right? That's 1,000 entries. You buy 1,000,000, that's 1,000,000 entries. We have a 1 billion supply. 700 million is being set aside and locked to give to new buyers to cover their buy fee. So it puts us with a much smaller supply. So the rewards are actually going to look really good whenever I do the math video once we get to launch. The math videos are going to blow people's minds. So I can't wait to launch. Which hopefully, ideally, launch will be in the next week, but things can set us back. It could be a couple weeks. It could be 3. I'm aiming for 1 week from today, but we'll see. As long as the website comes out and the contract's ready, it should be a week from today. Each wallet can only snag 1 of the 5 prizes per month. So if you have a huge wallet and you win, it's not going to pick you again and again and again. It'll pick 4 other wallets, and then next month you can win again. That makes it fair for everybody else because we don't want one whale to win 3 or 4 times and everybody else just gets nothing. So that makes it more fair, which is awesome. Winners are picked using trusted public random software everyone can check. Yeah, you'll be able to check the transparency of, it's not me going like this and picking a random holder. That'd be hilariously stupid if we did it that way, but it's a software that picks a random token. And so your bag, you got 1,000 tokens, 1,000,000 tokens. If that token's in your bag, the cool part about this, the thing I really love about this, because I like making crypto fair and better for the later holders, is everyone has a chance. If you're at the bottom, if you're the tiniest holder and you threw in $10 or something, you still have a chance for that amount of tokens you have being one of the ones picked. Your odds are a lot less compared to everybody else's, but there's still even a possibility of somebody coming in after 10 million in volume, throwing in $100 and winning 40 grand. The potential is there. It's there. Which is awesome. No other project do you have that potential. If we had 100 million a month, 100 million in volume a month, somebody could come in and throw in $10, buy up a few tokens. Their odds of winning are probably astronomically low, but they're still there. It's like winning the lottery, but probably better than the lottery still. And they could come in, throw in a couple $100 or so, and win $400,000. The possibility is there. That's super important to know. The possibility is there, but obviously the people who have the most tokens greatly increase their chances of being those winners, and they should be rewarded for holding the project. Either way, everybody gets rewards, everybody has their bag, and we have a utility that can greatly fuel rewards for everybody. think I hit all these. Each token you hold equals 1 entry in the drawing. That's such a cool concept to be like, oh, I just bought 10 million entries, you know what I mean, or whatever. This setup gives even small holders a real shot at winning based on what they own, while bigger holders get more chances with more tokens. It really changes the game to like the relationship of chasing getting more of the token is you chasing growth and success of the project and being rewarded for it. That's perfect. That's exactly the way it should be, not to buy it so that you can dump on your own community later. I really don't like how crypto's set up right now, and we're here to change that at Control. And we'll just have to show people. Sol Control flips the script on transaction fees with a fresh twist. Lock supply 60%. It's actually 70 now. We increased it because there was 10% that they wanted to put aside, and I just said I don't want any percent. I don't want any tokens. So it's 70% now of the token supply is set aside and locked up from day one. Bonus tokens for buyers. New buyers get extra tokens from the supply to offset the usual buy fee. We reward you for buying. We don't punish you for buying the project. We reward you for buying the project. That's super important to understand as well. More bang for your buck. This means you walk away with more value than you paid for. You start with more value than what you put in. Small fee keeps it fair. A fee on selling stops anyone from gaming the system. The reason this can't be abused is because there's a sell fee that protects somebody from just buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, and depleting the supply or depleting the liquidity. You'd have to, because that sell fee is there, it protects you, but it's the smallest sell fee in the history of reward projects with the best rewards that you've ever gotten in terms of like ratio wise. For example, you spend $100 to buy 1,000 tokens at 1 cent each. Sol Control throws in 100 extra tokens, right, to cover the fee. That's a sweet deal. If the price goes up 100x from there, and somebody makes $100 buy again, we would only have to give them 1 token. So as the price moves up, that supply we have set aside, it takes less and less and less of the supply to cover the buy fees as the price moves up. So it's extremely sustainable. As the price climbs, this mechanism works even better, keeping things solid for long-term sustainability. Smarter token use. As the token price rises, fewer tokens are needed to cover buy fees, stretching the locked supply further. It's extremely, we'd have to be so freaking successful, like one of the top altcoins in the history of crypto, to even have to start to worry about going through that 70% of the supply. But like I said, we also have a buyback wallet where we can buy back up. That's what this is about to talk about. Treasury power. 2% of every trade goes to the project treasury, funding marketing campaigns, team compensation, buybacks to refill the token supply for the buy bonuses. Let's see how much will go back to the original token. I'll tell you guys this, 1%. So in the treasury, 1% will go back to rewards for control token holders. It's a lot. It's a lot going back to you guys. So if we do, ideally, if we hit 100 million in volume, 1% of the treasury would be $1 million, and we'd have $1 million that would go back towards you guys in rewards. If we do 10 million in volume, then 1% would be $100,000 in rewards. So with only 10 million in volume. So not only can you buy this token, get your bag, get your rewards, get the big payout, and get the utility revenue, but even as a control token holder, even if you don't do this, you can benefit from it. But obviously, if this project does well enough to benefit control token holders, then you're going to benefit more from getting in both projects. You can do whatever you want. I'm just saying, if this project brings any kind of significant revenue back towards control token, like if we do 100 million in volume, then 1 million comes back towards control token holders in the form of rewards. That would mean that there would have been 8 million in rewards for the Sol Control holders. So, you know, do with that what you will. Team structure, no team tokens, paid by action. We earn from the treasury. We want as much success as possible. I like dumps on the charts is the last thing I want. So no tokens for that. I'm doxed. Here's my face. My name's Thomas. I live in Oklahoma. I can't get any more transparent than that. I was in the Squid Grow team. I went to NFT NYC. I've met some of the biggest people in the crypto space. I went to Austin Consensus. I went to Bitcoin Nashville. And I've proven myself to cover projects in a transparent and honest way, from SafeMoon to Evergrow. I called Evergrow early, so that's my background for people. Control protocol. That's really everything we're doing, and the mission we're on is to make DeFi better. Sounds cheesy, but we actually have solutions that literally do that. So we just need people to realize that. People are either going to realize that our solutions work through the tokens we launch or through the utilities we make. We're providing tokens that show them the solution to DeFi, and then we're providing platforms for them to build to make these solutions. So I think we have one of the most needed utilities in DeFi. Conclusion, Soul Control takes token design on Solana to the next level. It flips the script by rewarding growth and sticking around, building a stronger system that works for everyone, not just the rotators, not just people get in, get out, pump, dump, be early, cabals, rugs. It's really bad. Crypto needs to change, and I'm here to do it. You need someone you trust who's docs, transparent, no team tokens, with a new unique idea that creates value, that rewards the community for chasing the success of the project. That's all we need in crypto. It is that simple. You can do well off bad projects, you can do off scams, and good luck out there, but this is what we're here to do, is to show people that the community should not be chasing to use each other as exit liquidity. We should have a model that rewards us for sticking around and for chasing success, and Soul Control is really showing that off. As part of Control Protocol family, Soul Control proves smart ideas can tackle crypto's biggest problems, showing a path to DeFi projects that thrive through teamwork and shared goals. Special note for white paper readers. The team can boost the bonus tokens covering your fees down the line. Get ready for this upgrade to make things even better. I'm going to increase the amount of tokens that we give people as throughout the month to give you extra and extra tokens as the project goes on. So we have a lot of tools to our advantage to make this a top crypto. That's my only goal, is for people to say, have you heard about Soul Control? What are they doing? They have a launch pad. Let's launch our token on there. That's my only goal, is to make top cryptos that show people that crypto can be better for communities, and that we can chase ideas rather than exit liquidity. That's really what I'm trying. That's what my Control Protocol, that is the heart of our mission, is to show people that you can create systems that shift value into the future, that reward the community for chasing the success of the project. That's what we need. We don't need everybody chasing the destruction of the project through selling. We need people to chase the success of the project through holding, and they need to be rewarded for it. That's just not available right now in crypto. There's the white paper, guys. That's going to be available soon. We also, like I said, I've shown you guys the website a little bit, and I have a video. I'm not going to show you the video. You're just going to get to watch that when it comes out. If the website goes live today, I already messaged the dev and talked to him and sent him what I need, then I'll post the video. We're doing promotions on everything. Like, I'm paying for promotions on like everything we're doing, so it's quite a lot. But we've also scored some very big support that we're going to get after launch, and I'm going to be paying for even more marketing during the pre-sale and after the pre-sale. So we're going really hard on marketing this time, not just me with the spaces, the posts, the videos, everything that I'm doing, plus Cafe Control, Externalize, Beard, BM. We have Mitch Bromwell. We have our whole community that's like, now is our time to have fun for an entire month. I've removed sell pressure from me, and I've incentivized the whales to hold, and I have the power to give extra tokens to create this great incentive throughout the project, and we have marketing. So we have a lot of great things set up. As long as everything works, the contract works, you buy, you get your rewards, you buy, you get your extra tokens, we're good. We have a really good setup. Let's see, do you guys have any questions? Thanks, Mitch. 1% going back to Control Token family. How much does it cost for people to launch new projects? It depends. Like, technically, on the launch pad, we'd have to look at that further on. It'd probably be something like a fee for launching plus a percentage of volume that they get would come back. So if you think about that, you have 10 projects launching, and we're getting 1% of all their volume, plus they all paid to launch. And the revenue is, I'd have to look at that like when we get to that, right? But it would be a large percent of it going back towards Soul Control, and a large percent going back towards Control Token, and a small percent going towards paying whoever's running that, whether it be me or another team that's running the Launchpad. But the majority of the revenue is going to go towards Soul Control and towards Control Token holders for the Launchpad. We'll be able to buy Soul Control straight from the official website. Yep. With a debit or credit card, I'll have to ask Mark if that tech is available to us, because we have paid for a lot of tech, so I don't know if that's one of the things we paid for. But that would be cool. It would create a wallet for you. That would be cool. Let me ask Mark if we've paid for that, if that can be integrated. I think a 1 to 2 Sol. Sure, any amount's fine, but most important thing is getting involved. Yep, it's one of those things where like all I can do is show myself, not give myself any tokens, and create really good ideas, put as much effort as I can in. I need a community behind me. And I'm saying, look, how many people out there are willing to put their reputation on the line, their face on the line? How many people are willing to create projects like this that reward the future and don't give themselves any tokens? So I just need people to realize what our vision is, not just Sol Control, but the whole vision of like getting people to participate in cryptos that reward holding over selling, or at least balance the two. Then that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to launch tokens, I'm going to launch utilities, and it's all about it's changing the tool that people use. Right now, people use crypto as a tool to chase ideas, and that tool works just like a pyramid that incentivizes its own failure. You know, if you reward only selling and whoever has the most of the supply gets the biggest sell pressure, you're rewarding people for getting in early and then destroying the project, destroying the hype, the momentum, the belief, and leaving the project with a team, with a community that's very upset with them, that wants them to produce a utility or marketing that makes them rich. And how many times does it have to happen where people go, okay, this sucks? So people are very upset with crypto. They need a new narrative, and this is it. You need to be able to chase growth and success for each other rather than using each other as exit liquidity. You guys, anybody watches this, it's very easy to participate in the pre-sale. You just need Solana, right? In your wallet, Trust Wallet, MetaMask, whatever you've got, get Solana. You can buy it, or you can swap anything, cross-chain transfer into Solana and just send it to the address. Double check the address, guys. Make sure you have the right address. If you mess up that address and you send it, it's going to get, your funds are going to get lost. Make sure it's the right address. It ends in PI. So that's the address. It's in the description. I'll be live on Twitter in a little bit. I'm going to be going live. I'll be showing some of the math a little bit, which, I'll probably show these same things, but then at the end, I'm going to go into a more like math, where I show the math and stuff. So, and like I said, if the web dev finishes what I asked him to today and we get the website published, the website, the white paper, and the video will go live, and we're going to begin the marketing for that. We're looking at doing more marketing with other Solana influencers. We kind of have access to all the Solana influencers, and it's about just picking which ones we think are going to be most effective for you guys, for the community. And I'm trying not to waste money, and I'm trying to get the bang for our buck, but you also have me just working, right? I work for you guys, I work for the project. And I've been working a long time to come up with all this stuff and to iron it out, but now it's time to do what I do best, which is marketing, do spaces, do posts, and we are going to try to blow this token up, right? We want this token to succeed because we have an actual mission behind all this. Yes, it's cool to get your rewards, it's cool to get your big bag, take your profits, get the big payout, get the utility revenue, but beyond all that, it's to prove to people that you can use a token to change the value distribution to reward chasing the success. And if the more projects that do that, I think the more likelihood you're going to have projects succeed. And even if a project doesn't, it'll at least reward the people who stayed in the project more than any other token. That's super important, is to reward the people who try to make it succeed. Right now, crypto just rewards you for leaving. Like that, rewards you for dumping your bag, rewards you for dumping it at the right time. But ultimately, everybody's just trying to chase to exit a project. You're not chasing the success. You're not chasing value for each other. You're not chasing the growth of the project. You're literally just chasing to use that project as exit liquidity. That's a terrible design, obviously. It's just only chasing to sell stocks because the revenue from utility is just never enough to compete with the value that you get through selling. So reward projects can literally balance that into rewarding significantly through rewards, holding a project. All right, guys, we got any questions? Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and that's just me showing the white paper and the website. It's a pretty detailed breakdown. I'll be live later. I'm going to briefly do this again, but then I'm going to go into like the math portion where I'm going to show you some of the math that you can get, and we can look at that one's fun because you have your bag, plus you get the rewards, plus you get the big lotto payout, plus you have the utility. It's just a really cool concept. So I'll be showing all that stuff later. I appreciate you guys being here. Primo, what's up? Make sure everyone saves their hash when you send the SOL, just in case. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it should be saved in your wallet, I would think, but nothing wrong with going out of your way to keep extra track of those things. Awesome, guys. Hey, thanks for being here. Control crew, guys. This is our time to shine. Just being in spaces, in videos, liking, retweeting. Don't think that that doesn't help. We need as many people to do that as possible. This is not just for me. It's your bag, right? It's your project. And your presence is everything. It might not feel like it. It's everything. It doesn't feel like it when it's 5 to 10, 15 people. When you get into 20, 50, 100, you start drawing in people to be like, why is there so many people here? We really need to accomplish that this time. We need to build a large community because it'll greatly increase our chances of building a larger community around an idea that's good for communities. That's really the most important thing. It's like not just a pump and dump. It's not just a wasted thing. I'm not giving myself a bunch of tokens. It's like as good of a setup of a token as I could possibly create. Like I give you the assurance of I'm doxed. I give you my first name. I give you the state I live in. You can go check my record. You can see that I was at NFT NYC. I was on the Squid Grow team. I'm doxed to people. They have my information. I like all of my information. No team tokens. I have a project I've already launched that didn't dump at all. I haven't put a single sell on that. The treasury's still doing well for that. And we have, I think, the best roadmap in crypto for control token, which is making projects that are better for people and making platforms where they can make those projects, saying, here's the experience. You buy into these projects, you get a different experience. You get delayed liquidity, and you get no sell pressure from the team. That's awesome. That's a different experience. But here's a way to build this as well. So that's how we're bringing that. Awesome. Thanks for being here, guys. I will catch y'all later. You guys have a great day.